Florida, the Sunshine State. Everyone thinks it's just beaches, retirees, and Disney parks, right? But the truth is, this state hides some unbelievable stories that sound fake, but every single one is real. From forgotten wars to floating cities and storms that changed American history. Today, I'm going to show you 30 facts about Florida that will absolutely surprise you. If you enjoy crazy places around the world, hit that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next is unbelievable. Let's start with the first fact. Fact 1. The Land of Flowers. In April of 1513, the Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon arrived on Florida's coast. He landed during Pascua, Florida, or the Feast of Flowers, and was amazed by the colorful vegetation. He named the region La Florida, meaning Land of Flowers, while also searching for the legendary Fountain of Youth, a myth that still shapes Florida's culture today. Fact 2. Civilization before Europeans. Long before Europeans arrived, native tribes like the Timucua, Calusa, and Apalachee lived across Florida. They built shelters, fished using canoes, and traded goods with distant tribes. These early peoples had complex cultures and spiritual beliefs, leaving a legacy that explorers would later discover. Fact 3. Changing owners. Spain, Britain, and back again. In 1763, Spain lost Florida to Britain after the 7 Years' War. 20 years later, after the American Revolution, the British returned the territory to Spain. Finally, in 1821, the United States bought the region. 3 different owners in only 50 years. Fact 4. The Cuban exodus that changed Miami. In 1980, more than 120,000 Cuban refugees arrived during the Mariel boat lift. They crossed the sea in small, improvised boats, escaping Fidel Castro's regime. Today, Miami's streets, food, and music carry Cuban culture everywhere, like a little piece of Havana inside the US. Fact 5. The Seminole Wars. During the 19th century, Florida was the stage for the Seminole Wars, conflicts between the US government and the Seminole people. The Seminoles fought to avoid being removed from their lands and became one of the few tribes that never fully surrendered. Their descendants still live in Florida today, recognized as a sovereign nation within the state. Fact 6. 2 time zones in one state. Most of Florida follows Eastern Time, but 9 counties use Central Time. Gulf County is the only one that uses both at once. You can literally cross the street and change time zones. Only in Florida. Fact 7. A peninsula surrounded by water. Florida is almost an island, connected to the mainland by only one side. Surrounded by the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Florida Strait, it has tropical weather and unique ecosystems. But that same position makes it a perfect target for storms and hurricanes. Fact 8. 2 coasts, 1 massive shoreline. It's the only US state with coastline on both the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. With more than 1,300 miles of beaches, each side looks completely different. From the turquoise waters of Naples to the crystal green coast of Destin, it's 2 beach paradises in one. Fact 9. The flattest state in America. Florida is officially the flattest state in the entire country. No mountains, no big hills. That flat land gives you open horizons and breathtaking sunsets, but also makes the state more vulnerable to floods and storms. Fact 10. The highest low point in the US. Britton Hill is Florida's highest point, but also the lowest highest point among all 50 states. At only 105 meters above sea level, it's more of a hill than a mountain. That low altitude gives Florida its flat landscapes, humid climate, and constant weather challenges. Fact 11. The lightning capital of the US. Central Florida is known as the lightning capital of America. During summer, daily storms produce thousands of lightning strikes, especially around Tampa and Orlando. Scientists even call the region Lightning Alley, beautiful to watch, dangerous to stand in. Fact 12. tornadoes every year. Besides lightning, Florida also leads the country in the number of tornadoes per year. The mix of heat, humidity, and coastal winds creates the perfect setup for spinning storms. Most are small, but they happen so often that locals are just used to it. Fact 13. The hurricane state. From June to November, Florida enters hurricane season. Storms like Andrew in 1992 and Wilma in 2005 caused billions in damage and changed lives forever. That's the price of living in one of the most beautiful and most dangerous tropical paradises in the US. Fact 14. The storm that changed everything. The Great Miami Hurricane of 1926 destroyed the city and killed hundreds. It forced the US to create new systems for weather prediction and disaster response. That one storm reshaped how the entire nation prepares for hurricanes today. Fact 15. Deadlier than hurricanes. Rip currents kill more people in Florida each year than hurricanes and tornadoes combined. They pull swimmers out to sea with incredible strength, even on sunny days. It's one of the most underestimated dangers of Florida's beautiful beaches. Fact 16. The only coral reef in the continental US. Florida is home to the only living coral reef in the continental United States. Called the Florida Reef, it's the third largest coral system in the world, a paradise for divers, and a reminder of how vital the ocean is to this state's identity. Fact 17. The lake that's actually a sinkhole. Lake Eola in Orlando looks like a normal lake, but it's actually a massive natural sinkhole. It's 24 meters deep and sits right in the middle of the city. Today, it's a postcard-perfect spot with swans, fountains, and skyline views floating over a giant hole. Fact 18. Florida's largest freshwater lake. Lake Okeechobee is the largest in Florida and the third largest entirely within the US. Its name comes from a native word meaning big water. It's crucial for the local ecosystem, and when it floods, it creates historic disasters. Fact 19. The river that became a song. The Suwannee River, made famous by the song Old Folks at Home, runs almost 400 kilometers from Georgia to Florida. It's one of the few major rivers that stays completely within one state. A symbol of the American South, full of nature and local legends. Fact 20. The river that flows backward. The St. Johns River is Florida's largest, and it flows from south to north. Only a few rivers in the world do that, making it a true geographic oddity. It starts near Vero Beach and empties into Jacksonville, flowing against nature's logic. Fact 21. More canals than Venice. Cape Coral on the Gulf Coast has over 640 kilometers of man-made canals, even more than Venice. They connect homes, marinas, and the Caloosahatchee River, forming one of the biggest urban water networks in the world. It's a boater's paradise, and one of America's most unique cities. Fact 22. The southernmost point in the US mainland. Key West sits only 145 kilometers from Cuba, closer to Havana than to Miami. That proximity shaped its food, culture, and architecture, blending the best of both worlds. It's the end, or maybe the beginning, of America's most iconic highway. Fact 23. Miami's imported sand. The famous beaches of Miami aren't completely natural. Much of their sand was imported from the Caribbean after storms and erosion. Every year, the state spends millions to keep those beaches picture perfect. Fact 24. Crocodiles and alligators. The Everglades National Park is the only place on Earth where alligators and crocodiles live side by side. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most important ecosystems in the US. A delicate balance between danger and raw beauty. Fact 25. Gatorland, the reptile park. Opened in 1949, Gatorland in Orlando is a theme park dedicated to crocodiles and alligators. Visitors can see these massive creatures up close and even watch educational shows. It's the kind of attraction that only Florida could come up with. Fact 26. Underground owls in Cape Coral. Besides its canals, Cape Coral is also home to thousands of burrowing owls. These small birds live in holes in the ground and have become the city's symbol. Every year, locals celebrate the Burrowing Owl Festival with pride and love. Fact 27. A fortress in the middle of the sea. Dry Tortugas National Park, about 115 kilometers from Key West, holds Fort Jefferson, a 19th century fortress. Surrounded by crystal-clear waters, it once served as a prison during the Civil War. Today, it's an isolated paradise and one of Florida's most amazing secrets. Fact 28. Home of the Ghost Orchid. The Fakahatchee Strand Preserve is a protected area filled with rare species. Among them is the legendary Ghost Orchid, a flower almost impossible to find. This park protects one of the most mysterious and valuable ecosystems in the state. Fact 29. The Fountain of Youth. Almost. In St. Augustine, there's a park dedicated to the spot where Ponce de Leon is said to have landed in 1513. It features a legendary fountain that promises eternal youth to anyone who drinks from it. Tourists from all over the world still take a sip, just in case. Fact 30. Miami's floating houses. In Biscayne Bay, near Miami, there's a group of stilt houses known as Stiltsville. Built in the 1930s for parties and illegal casinos, they're now part of a national park. They seem to float over the ocean, one of Florida's most surreal sights. Florida is so much more than beaches and theme parks. It's full of history, wild nature, and stories that sound fake. But every single one is real. If you enjoyed these 30 surprising facts, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me which one impressed you the most. And while you're here, check out the next video on the screen. You're going to love discovering more unbelievable places around the world.